Good news, I'm moving, so I'll have air conditioning and you won't have to see this red face anymore. What's up? I'm Trent Windsor and we're here in search of the perfect shuffle. It's time for another segment of Clearing Out the Archives where I shuffle my music and whichever album pops up, that's the album I review song by song. If a song is more than 50% skippable, if I would skip it more than half the time, then I say get rid of it. And if it is less than 50% skippable, if I would listen to it more than half the time, then I say it's a perfect addition for your perfect shuffle. Last time we shuffled our music and the album that popped up was 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge by My Chemical Romance. My Chemical Romance really brought emo style music to the masses. While their style is maybe closer to pop punk, or just classic punk, they're always going to be remembered for their emo influences. 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge was their first real popular success. It went platinum in about a year and kicked off just a slew of tours with a bunch of really popular bands. This album came out in 2004. I was 9 years old, I think, so I didn't really get around to it till later on in life. What kind of impression did it leave on me? Was it worth getting back around to? Let's find out as I review this album song by song. Before I go into the songs themselves, I want to talk a little bit about the album as a whole. My Chemical Romance, I'm going to refer to them as MCR because that's just so much easier. MCR is probably best known for their concept album, Welcome to the Black Parade. This album doesn't have quite as strong a concept as Welcome to the Black Parade, but there is a very loose story that goes throughout the album about a man who made a deal with the devil and he has to kill 1,000 evil men. He's on a quest to be reunited with his lover. Eventually, she kills herself and he kills himself as well. So it's pretty dark, very emo. Thank goodness for My Chemical Romance fans who listen to every single interview and read every single thing about this band and then put it all on Genius, because I would not have known that if they didn't. My Chemical Romance fans are really dedicated. Shouts out to you guys. This album, most of the songs have pretty similar elements, a very unified sound throughout the album. The standard song in this album has amazing energy, just so energetic. These guys really put a lot of their heart and soul into performing these songs, and what's amazing is that it shows in the recordings as well. The energy really comes through with Gerard Way's vocals. They're dynamic, they're exciting, and he really puts a lot of emotion into them. So you'll find that in any standard song on this album. Second thing is you'll find a lot of really well-crafted melodies. These are songs that are easy to get stuck in your head because the melodies are really catchy and really easy to remember. I find myself singing along to almost every song because those melodies really stick with you. The guitars on this album are thrashing, energetic, and pretty often you'll have a really nice guitar solo, which is really refreshing. I feel like a lot of bands seem to kind of have strayed away from the guitar solo, especially like the Van Halen style guitar solo, where there's a lot of riffing, a lot of notes, but MCR really delivers on the guitar solos in this album. These guitars are always backed by a really driving drum beat. The drums on this album just do not quit. All of these elements added together just bring an amazing energy overall. They make you want to bang your head, they make you want to sing / shout / scream along. It's really cool, exciting energy all the way throughout. And what adds to this are the really emotional lyrics. That's the real emo aspect of this album, is the lyrics and the lyricism. Some really potent and deep lyrics really help you to feel the angst that is coming from this band. So when I say that a song is an MCR standard, this is what I'm talking about. It will have all these elements. Song number 1 is called Helena, So Long and Good Night. This is definitely an MCR standard. Starts out kind of soft, a little bit more whispered vocals, but then they just bring up the energy and you get right into the MCR standard of music for this album. It's about his grandma dying and just all of the emotions that come with that, regret and missing her and all of that stuff. You can really hear the emotion on this one. The music video for this one is just a big old emo funeral, although maybe funerals are just big emo conventions, maybe more goth. All in all, this one is 30% skippable. Song number 2 is called Give 'Em Hell, Kid. This one is a lot more pure punk rock. There's some atonal guitars, which throw back to some of the classic punk rock acts. A lot of the vocals are very shouted, a little bit less melodic, which is very exciting and very energetic. Some of the verses kind of sound like they're recorded through a phone, which may hail to the plot of the album, but for me it kind of ties back to the really poor recording quality of some of the old punk rock bands. You listen to any Misfits record, it's gonna sound like trash, recording quality wise. Other than that, it's just short, hard, and fast, like an incredibly buff horse jockey. This one is 35% skippable. The third song is called To the End. This is another MCR standard. What I think is interesting about this song is that it's kind of an emo wedding theme style song. This album came out in 2004, and Panic at the Disco's debut album came out in 2005 with their very popular emo wedding song that you've probably heard, I Write Sins Not Tragedies. So basically, Panic at the Disco copied My Chemical Romance, and they should feel bad. Yeah, this song is very catchy, very gritty, they keep the energy coming, an amazing guitar solo. This one is 25% skippable. Song number 4 is called You Know What They Do to Guys Like Us in Prison. This one actually starts out pretty jazzy with a little piano.
You like jazz?
And that's the part in the song where the protagonist gets arrested. And then that's where all the chaos starts. It's all about this guy who's an inmate, he's going crazy, he's getting bullied by his fellow inmates. Some really cool and interesting lyrics on this one. Gerard says, "Life is but a dream for the dead." That's a weed thought for you. Really awesome song, one of my favorites on the album. This one is 20% skippable. Song number 5 is called I'm Not Okay, I Promise, probably one of the most, if not the most popular songs on this album. And it's just so very angsty.
Angst.
It's very teenage angst, very high school. What really sets the song apart from all of the other songs on this album is that it's actually in a major key and has a lot more positive feel than the rest of the songs on the album. This being combined with the theme of I'm Not Okay makes it very ironic, a little bit tongue-in-cheek. It's a very sarcastic song. Even the music video is teen comedy inspired. It just fits so well with this song. It's probably the emo kid anthem. I'm not okay. This is another one that's 20% skippable. Song number 6 is called The Ghost of You. This song is actually more like a thrasher of a ballad. It's about as close to a ballad as this band gets, at least within this album, but it still has that energy and those driving drums and those thrashing guitars. It just has a different feel to it, makes it feel a little bit more emotional, feel a little bit more ballad-like. One thing that really helps do that is the haunting finger picking behind most of the verses. It's a lot softer, it's a little bit more introspective, and that transitions into a chorus, which is just all-out grief. This song is 25% skippable. The 7th song is called The Jet Set Life Is Gonna Kill You. It's an MCR standard through and through. Interesting fact, Gerard Way, the singer, really did have a hard time with the quote-unquote jet set life, touring around the country, performing his music. He actually had a lot of problems with substance abuse. It took him some time between tours to take care of himself and get off of all that. It's a pretty personal song. This one is 35% skippable. Song number 8 is an interlude, so as is tradition, I will not count it in the final tally. This interlude is actually pretty decent. It's a lot softer, very slow. It feels like a coherent part of the album. It doesn't feel like it was just kind of tossed in there. So my rating is this song is 50% skippable, really take it or leave it. Song number 9 is called Thank You for the Venom. It is another MCR standard, but something about this song I really connect with. It's my favorite MCR standard from the group. This one is 30% skippable. Song number 10 is called Hang 'Em High. We start out with a very Western-inspired theme at the beginning with some whistling in there. You kind of feel like you're in a saloon, but then it transitions into all-out chaos. There's still some Western themes in the lyrics as you go forward. Basically, it's just an MCR standard with a kick. This one is 30% skippable. Song number 11 is called It's Not a Fashion Statement, It's a Death Wish. It's another MCR standard. Not much else I can really say about it. It's 35% skippable. Song number 12 is called Cemetery Drive. It's got a comparatively sweet and relaxed intro. It's got some more math rock inspired guitars, a little bit more complicated. Unfortunately, it's just not quite as captivating as all the other songs, although it's still very well crafted and has a lot of the elements of an MCR standard, so this one is 40% skippable. The last song on the album is called I Never Told You What I Did for a Living, and it's the final MCR standard we get for this album, final song. What I really love about this song is that we get a pretty gentle outro to finish the album. It's like they've thrown it all out there, they've released all of their energy and their emotions, and they're finally tired. Really makes you feel like there's some closure. They're not the only ones who are tired after going through all of that. I'm tired because I've just been rocking so hard and singing along and screaming and woo. And so, you know, at the end of the album, it's nice to just sing along to that last quiet part without trying too hard. So this one is 35% skippable. Tallying up the numbers as a whole, this album is 30% skippable. It's hard to explain just what kind of cultural phenomenon My Chemical Romance really was. The thing that I really love most about them is that they seem to have carried the torch that many other punk rock bands before them have carried, which is giving a voice to those who have been forgotten, those who've been neglected. And for My Chemical Romance, those people are the goth kids, the emo kids, and really anybody who has any part of them that identifies with that aesthetic, as well as the emotions involved. Let's shuffle our music and see which album I'll be reviewing next. Alright, so we're just going to go into our music library, go into albums, and hit shuffle. Alright, looks like the next album I'll be reviewing is the self-titled album by 3 Days Grace. If you like what I'm doing here, go ahead and like this video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on those notifications. Go ahead and leave a comment below, let me know what you think about MCR, let me know what you think about this album. I love it, and I'd love to hear what you think about it. Just so you know, I've got a couple of request videos cooking up right now. I'm listening to the music and getting ready to review some albums that some viewers have requested. So if you'd like to hear me review an album, go ahead and leave a comment below, let me know. You can check out my radio station on the Station Head app. My station is at Shuffle Perfect and it's playing at all times. I'm Trent Windsor and this is The Perfect Shuffle.